Hi everyone, this is the second and along with it final part about balancing unicycle construction from Death Stranding 2. In the last part, we welded a sturdy frame, installed the wheels and connected all the vital electronics. But that was just a skeleton of our future creation. Today I'm going to completely assemble and glue the case, set the light and most importantly to arrange a full value test drive for this technological marvel. I myself am terribly interested in what it's capable of in real conditions. First of all, for ease of reference, I welded a special stand. Now the unicycle is securely fixed and we can get to work. Before starting, I removed the handlebar grips and carefully covered all the electronics with a membrane, because the working process was going to be dirty. The basis for the future case was a wire frame. I carefully bent the wire, step by step, creating those futuristic outlines of the unicycle. The front part is ready. The next two items in line are a seat and a tail. The frame is done. Now it needs to be turned into smooth and durable case. This time I decided to try out a completely new technology for myself. To begin with, I completely covered the frame with a film. And in order to give the structure some stiffness, I wrap it in a galvanized mesh. Now I have to literally prototype the mock-up of the case over this mesh. I provided myself with two kinds of material, a modeling clay and a sculptural plasticine. The plasticine turned out to be surprisingly firm. Smearing it right on the mesh would be a real challenge. But the clay, it was soft and ductile, just exactly what you need. Well, the choice was obvious. I ordered 15 kilograms of clay and got into the process. Layer by layer, I applied the material onto the mesh, creating future shapes. By the way, if you decide to repeat something like this, you should be extremely careful. The joints of the mesh are very sharp and can easily pierce your fingers. Check for yourself. First, I applied a thick layer and then cut off all the excess with a metal sheet, leveling the surface. And that's what I got. Yes, the mockup isn't perfect, but it's not necessary to bring it to perfection, because the case will stick right over it. It's fiberglass time. The first layer is a glass veil. I applied it in pieces right on the clay and immediately soaked it with polyester resin. Then, in order to get the right thickness and durability, I imbricated several layers of thick glass fiber mat. As a result, the case thickness turned out about 3–4 millimeters. Now I need to get rid of all the excess, namely to cut off the uneven fringe along the lower edge. Another unpleasant moment was the removal of the finished detail from the clay mold. And I might say that it wasn't easy at all. The clay stuck tightly to the fiberglass and got off from the mesh with it. For the next few hours, armed with the metal sheet, I cleaned 15 kilograms of clay from the inner surface of the case. A huge plus of the clay is that it's elastic and it can be reused. The most importantly thing is to put it in a barrier bag to prevent it from drying out. I washed out the residue with a high-pressure washer. The wireframe fulfilled its task and I took it off the frame. When I removed all the clay, the case became almost weightless. And although I did everything almost by sight, the landing turned out to be surprisingly comfortable, similar to one on a sports motorcycle. The case is ready, but it's still raw and far from ideal. Now I'm going to bring its surface to perfection. First of all, I armed myself with a flap wheel and cleaned all the protruding needles of fiberglass and large irregularities. For good measure, I made the surface matte in order to ensure better application of the putty. After that, I took polyester fiberglass putty and started a long leveling process. I did all the treatment by hand. I even created a pair of comfortable honing sticks for this purpose. There were 3 or 4 full stages: putty application and then tiresome grinding. Layer by layer, millimeter by millimeter, I was getting closer to the goal. Ultimately, I got a perfectly smooth surface. All that remains is to cover up the smallest pores and breaches. I decided to make the seat removable. To make a separate case for it, I used the main detail as a matrix. To prevent them from sticking tightly, I glued the surface with a foil tape and thoroughly smeared it with wax. On top of this separating layer, I glued a fiberglass seat body. This technique's greatest strength is perfect junction of 2 details. Now I'll take care of the light. I made a parking light with a flexible red neon LED. I neatly cut a groove in the tail and put neon light straight into it. For the front part, I managed to find LED headlight that fit perfectly in the oval cutout. True, I had to work the case into place a little, so that it fit like a glove. After that, it was possible to start priming and painting. While the priming was drying, I started making the bottom plastic elements. Began with an inner monocycle casing. I designed those elements in a 3D editor and printed them on a 3D printer. I also made some footboard details that repeated the original game design. Due to the standstill interfering with the lower segment, it has to be installed at the very end. There is some more electronics. I installed a 12-volt converter to power all the lighting. I arranged the wires and installed the buttons for parking lights and headlights. By the way, after putty, the case became so rigid that it stopped fitting the frame at the attaching point of the handles. I had to carefully cut it in this place and close the cutout with a patch. And finally, everything is ready for the final stage – painting. To hide the frame on each side, I made those special patches. They also have very convenient light control buttons. The seat was covered with such quilted fabric. I had quite a job with it and used a heat gun to pull it in such complex shape, but I was pleased with the result. Well, there it is. My motorcycle replica from Death Stranding 2 is ready. We can go on a test drive now. After riding this unicycle, I must admit that I was unable to fully master it. It turned out not very stable, and keep the balance was quite a task. Therefore, I decided to invite a real professional for this test drive. Sam Bridges, my friends. He certainly knows how to drive this futuristic bike. So I never learned how to control it. Apparently, this really takes a special talent or a special chiral printer. Thanks all of you for watching. Subscribe to the channel in order not to miss new videos. And if you like it, put your thumbs up and see you soon.